Hello and welcome to the Achieve podcast, the show where we highlight the leaders, creators, and entrepreneurs who are building meaningful businesses and shaping their industries. I'm Jessie Warner and I'll be your host. And today I'm excited to have Dr. Robert Rhoton with the Arizona Trauma Institute. He is the founder of the company and we're excited to welcome him. So welcome, Robert.
Thank you for having me.
What inspired you to start your business and what keeps you passionate about it today?
Well, one of the things that drove me to do this was that I was so dissatisfied with what was being trained in colleges. I trained in mental health professionals for 20 years at a university setting. And the material was always designed to pass state licensure exams, but it didn't really teach people how to create transformation in the lives of the clients they worked with, particularly clients that had significant or severe presentations like complex trauma or other really complicated psychiatric issues. And so basically I started it just as a mechanism to train therapists in the Phoenix area. And we did that, and we've trained a lot of people in Arizona in general, but it kind of just grew from that. We have now trained people in 130 countries. We have ongoing partnerships with people in organizations in Pakistan, with people in Singapore, Malaysia, people in Peru, people in Saudi Arabia, and we have a lot of other folks that we provide support for in building a trauma-informed organizations in other countries as well, but they just aren't as established as the ones I mentioned. So it just kind of grew from that. It wasn't really a business plan. It was more, we did this thing, we provided this, and people liked it and wanted more of it. And so now I spend a good, significant part of my time traveling to other parts of the world and talking about trauma and its treatment and the qualities of being able to do the work with people that have trauma.
It sounds like you've been doing this for a while now.
Yes, quite a few years.
Looking back, what key moments or turning points shaped how your business operates today?
For me, it was always about a mission to change the way mental health services are provided. And I have a really good example. This happened in Monday evening in a video supervision thing I was working on with some folks in Thailand and in Singapore. And the therapist, she's got about 5 years of experience. And she looked at me and she said, because of the things you've taught me, they've changed the way I work and they've changed my personal life. And she started to tear up. And she said, you have changed my understanding of human beings. And I thought, there's nothing better than that. And so for me, it's seeing them embrace these concepts and put them into practice. Unlike a lot of organizations that train models of treatment, we focus on the process of treatment and how do you develop the personal qualities to be able to do that very well. And so it's always about them applying it to themselves before they try to apply it with clients.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. When you think about kind of your business, I'm guessing it's a nonprofit organization. Is that right?
No, we're for profit.
Oh, you are for profit. Okay. What's been the most effective way in helping you attract and keep your clients?
We have quite a community. If somebody takes a training from us, we provide what I call open mentoring. In other words, I'm available so many hours a week to, in small groups, to talk about how to apply this stuff. And I think that has really helped us, because we have, a good number of people every week that are involved in those mentoring sessions, and we get to see them make progress, and we get to celebrate with them as they achieve different levels of skill. And we stay in touch with the people that we've trained. And I think that's really been the key for us, is the community we've built. And at this point, the community even supports itself. Like, so one of the groups that we've done a lot of training with is actually in Europe. And the lead gal there has been collaborating with folks in Pakistan and folks in Peru on trying to put some programming together. And they're now doing it on their own, and that's just an amazing thing to emerge. We feel really, really proud of the impact we've had in the treatment world for trauma and toxic stress. So it's that community, I think, that has really built who we are.
So if I understand correctly, you do small mentoring groups. So you put together these groups. Is that kind of
people that go to a training? Because really what we train is very novel and very different than what people are trained in school to do. And so it's hard for them to get a grasp of how to do it. They can get a class, they can get some ongoing mentoring, but what we started a number of years ago is we have regular mentoring sessions that are open to anyone that's taken any of our courses. And we have about 350 people a week that join them. And it's not the same people every week, but we've had people attending those now pretty faithfully for 5 years. And they've become really excellent at doing this work. And they are impacting the countries that they live in. When we first introduced the philosophy that we use is called salutogenics, which is a wellness approach rather than psychopathology. When we first introduced it in Pakistan 6 years ago, nobody had ever heard of it. And now we've trained almost 4,000 people in Pakistan. And we have 5 different universities in Pakistan doing research on applying these concepts in Pakistani culture. So for us, those things are just amazing gains.
And really, your students, you call them students, or
learners,
partners. Okay. It seems like they become your ambassadors then, right? They experience and they learn from you, and they say, hey, let me tell you about this program that I'm in, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. What are some of the obstacles you're working through right now as you try to grow and as you're trying to run your business?
Well, one of the challenges we run into is that there are hundreds of people offering training around trauma. And a lot of it's model-centric. And there's kind of this concept that if you know how to do this model, you know how to do trauma therapy. And that's really short-sighted. What you know is how to do this model. But the danger is that so many therapists take that and that becomes that's their main way of looking at the world, is through this model. Well, no model fits everyone. And so what we have done is focused on the process of treatment and getting good at running the process. Then you can use any model you want. And so it's we have a lot of people that tend to be model-centric. We have a lot of people that we get a lot of our materials hijacked, and people, reproduce it. With AI, has become so so easy to capture somebody else's work product and put it out. We've had a lot of that happen. So, I think it's an attitude of culture and that is a problem. And the idea that if you've got something that works, there's going to be 10 people that are going to try to duplicate it and undercut you for it. So we've experienced that a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Imagine your longevity in the industry has helped with that a little bit, right? The being
Yeah,
known.
you hang around for 4 decades, people get to know you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Talking about AI, there is a lot of talk about AI and automation right now. How have you found ways to use it in your business? Or is it something you're still kind of exploring?
A lot of the folks in my business they use it quite often. And I began to play with it a little bit. It's great for creating slides. Put the content in, it creates the slides and the slide deck for trainings, and that's been really nice. And some of the software, I like one of the courses that I'm rewriting right now is the manual is 220 pages, and they've always just been kind of, what do I call them? They're like academic work. They're not pretty. And some of the new AI stuff, you can take this document, plug it in there, and it'll make it all nice and pretty. And it's like, oh, because I don't have the skills to, and I don't have no aesthetic sense of what's beautiful or not. So I think it's really good to have some of that. As far as research goes, what I have found is that it's kind of iffy. I think it'll get better over time, and some platforms are better. When I'm using research right now, a lot of times what I'll use is Academia EDU or Perplexity, because I think they do the best job of actually accurately pulling the articles that you're interested in. But you still have to read them and make sense of them, and that's I don't expect AI to take that over anytime soon.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're using it to create presentations, to do research, maybe repurpose something or rework.
Well, yeah, make it pretty.
Yeah.
My staff tell me, we really need to make it attractive. But I said, well, I'm not worried about attractive. I think it just needs to have the content. So I'll put the content together and they can make it pretty.
Yeah. Are your courses live, or do you have them on demand, or how does your format work?
We do a bunch of different things. We do a lot of live webinars. A lot of live presentations. We do a lot of webinars. We do asynchronous online work. We have a whole library of 60 or 70 trainings that are available. We have 11 books out. We do some hybrid stuff. Like I'm doing something in Malaysia right now where we do 3 hours of lecture, an hour of discussion, and we meet for 7 times. And so it's live. It's a live webinar, not a live in person.
When you think about the next stage of your business, and for you personally, what are you most excited about?
Well, I've got a brand new CEO, and she's about 18 months into this job, and she's doing some really good things for our organization. I am not naturally a business person. I am passionate about, the delivery of services and how we treat people. And, I have a lot of those passions, but she actually understands, a lot more about business in general than I do. So it's been really a gift for me. I'm hoping that, the legacy because for years, we were the only organization in the US that was actually promoting a salutogenic approach. And now there's a handful of people, a handful of organizations that are doing it. But I think we still provide the best support for folks who get trained. And I'd like to see that continue, and I think it will under Candace's direction. So at my age, I'm 73, and I'm kind of looking at that, getting to that place where I am semi-retired and working on the projects that I like. So,
Yeah, you're still young. You still got a long time ahead of you. What advice would you give to other entrepreneurs who are on a similar journey?
Probably the biggest thing I run into is that if you're going to, and this is my own personal bias, so I will own that, you have to be the person that you are trying to get other people to be. And I think that's true in leadership. I think it's true in clinical work. I think it's true across the board. We have a lot of therapists that haven't completed their own healing, and they're trying to get other people to heal. And we run into a lot of organizations where the turnover rate is directly related to the quality of leadership. And, we have people that are in positions, but they haven't aligned their character to actually maximize that. So I think if you're an entrepreneur, the thing to look at is, am I the person that can carry this message? And, I think that's a huge piece for me when I run into people and run other organizations. You can tell pretty quickly if what their mission statement says is actually how they live.
Well, Dr. Rhoton, I really appreciate you sharing your stories and insights with us today. For those listening, if you want to learn more about Arizona Trauma Institute, you can go to aztrauma.org. And that will wrap up today's episode of the Achieve podcast. A big thank you to our sponsors, Achieve CMO, which provides fractional marketing leadership for growing businesses, and Achieve Bootcamps, where entrepreneurs learn hands-on how to build their own marketing systems, automations, and AI-powered tools. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, follow the show and share it with another entrepreneur who'd find value in it. Again, thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next episode of the Achieve podcast.